What's good everybody, Frog here, and today's video is about the support queen S-Hera. So let's get a closer look. As usual, we're gonna go over skills, signature functor, and if you need it, sigils and skill effects, Aether Codes, and team counts. Alright, first things first.
時間の無駄にならなければいいけれど
I'm not rude enough to interrupt here. But yeah, Phantasmal Doll Hera or S-Hera is a light range modifier that uses energy as her combat resources, and she hails from Olympus Genzo. As for her skills now, her normal attack, White Flash, fires beam of light at the lockdown enemy, dealing light damage. Also, she gains 3 energy every second. Her skill 1, Falling Stars, summons 7 meteors above the locked on enemy, with each meteor dealing to enemies within range light damage. So far, nothing out of the ordinary really, but her skill 2 is when she really shines the most. Don't Wish. Launches an attack on surrounding enemies dealing light damage and increases the attack of the team member with the highest attack for 15 seconds. This attack increase is massive, and her buffs don't stop there actually. Next skill is skill 3. Great Bear's Fury summons Big Dipper above the target to attack all enemies within range, dealing light damage. As for her ultimate, Echo Chamber increases the damage dealt by all teammates for 12 seconds and restore all combat resources expended by them in the next move within 10 seconds. Also grants an ultimate skill charge when mod or a teammate triggers 0 time. As for her ultimate skill chain, Star Wind, it's performed alongside Windwalker Hermes, deals light damage equal to Hera's attack, and ultimates gain an attack boost for 12 seconds, on top of returning all combat resources expended by all teammates in their next attack within the next 12 seconds. Also deals wind damage equal to Hermes' attack and reduces the wind resistance of enemy hit by 30% for 12 seconds and applies the Wind Chaser mark. And that will do for her skills pretty much. You notice that I didn't say anything about her dodge skill. That is because her dodge skill is tied to her functor, so let's go over to her functor and check it out. So, her functor, Herald Miriam, when equipped by Hera, grants the following effects. Replaces the dodge skill Phantasmal Light Dance with Feathers Fantastical. 100% chance of triggering dodge effect with dodge. Hold down on the dodge button to trigger an additional dodge effect at the cost of 30 energy. Triggers only once every 24 seconds. Increases the non-dodge damage for the mod or a teammate in 0 time by 48% when they are affected by Don't Wish. As you can see, like buff upon buffs, like 48% more no-dodge damage as well, you know, in 0 time. And that's crazy. And on top of that, the thing about S-Hera is that you can trigger 0 time just by dodging, by actually triggering the extremity dodge. Like you can actually trigger 0 time and you can do it again back to back by spending 30 energy. That is only once every 24 seconds, but still, it's a big thing. So thanks to that, you're gonna be boosting your damage dealers immensely. So yeah, my recommendation is to actually go for his signature functor, because it is pretty good if you have the shifted stars. But if you are low on gacha resources, maybe you'd want to hold back a little bit, since the next new modifier we are getting is most likely Hades, and she's really good too. I would definitely recommend getting Hades as well when she comes to global. Now, once you have Hades, then you should have time to build towards getting her functor. So yeah, depending on how you are with your shifted stars, you know, plan accordingly. Now, for her sigils. You have a couple options actually, but it's important to say that later on we are getting a new energy sigil that will be better than the current Jormungandr on her, the one that I'm using over here as well. But if you're planning to use her as a damage dealer, then the stuff you want is 135 Obelisk of Light and 246 Jormungandr. If you have the signature Functor, you can use Shorman's Creed on 145 and Jormungandr on 236, excuse me, since you can trigger 0 time much easier and multiple times as well. So personally, I'd say it's a good option as well, but I'd still recommend going with the previous Sigil build, the one where you use the Obelisk of Light and Jormungandr for damage dealing. As for the support builds, and her best build in my opinion, until the new energy sigil is, comes to global, is using this one that I'm using right now, Virgo's Meteor on 135 and Jormungandr on 246. Now you might be wondering about Nibel, and yes, that is another combination you can do. By replacing Jormungandr, you can use the Nibel sigil, but in this case you will only get the charge speed and not the skill damage buff, since Hera's ultimate doesn't do damage unless paired with Hermes. So unless you have Omega Hera, so you can use a third sigil set and get the sigil effects, I would recommend still going for Jormungandr until the new energy sigil comes over. As for her skill effects, what you're looking for is, in this order, you're looking for Fierce Assault, Enrage Berserk, Loopback Raptor, Light Blessing, Tactics Enhance, and Siphon Calculated Reverse, and then pretty much the rest. But those are pretty much the ones you really want to max out. So you're looking for those specifically, and then what comes after it, pretty much. And that will do it for the sigils. Next up we have Aether Codes. So for Aether Codes, if you're using her as a support, then you go all blue. It's pretty much the best Aether Codes for support Hera. Shortens the cooldown for Dawn Wisp by 5 seconds, so you can use it faster, you know, her buffing skill pretty much. She's getting like an increase of 25 as well in the attack, and you know, it's another 25 increase additionally. It's pretty much the best codes for support. Now, if you're using her as a damage dealer, you have pretty much two options. One, if you do have her signature Functor, then you can go ahead and go full red, which pretty much takes advantage of her 0 time effects that you can trigger 2 times and whenever you want pretty much. So yeah, if you have her signature Functor, you can play all red, where you get most out of her with her 0 time triggers. Now if you don't have her signature Functor, you go all yellow. If you don't have your signature Functor, you go all yellow pretty much. So yeah, this is pretty much the builds for her Aether Codes. Support Hera, all blue. Signature Functor damage dealer, all red. Not signature Functor, all yellow. I'll keep it all blue since I'm using her as a support. As for her chips, there's not much really to say here. You know, use the one you really want to. I use the one that buffs the team leader every time and always affects the team leader, since I'm always wanting to have the buff to the character that I play. So yeah, unless you want, you know, to have the buff on other support character that does damage or something, you know, or you can have it, you know, be on herself. But if you do that, you need to remember that code Flawless, when it's active, like this effect will not take place. And that's pretty much it for her Aether Codes and her chips as well. So last but not least is her team comps, and honestly, I don't really have much to say here. Like, Hera can fit in every single team, literally in every single team. Like, every single team actually wants Hera, and you could say that is her only drawback as far as the character itself, that every single team wants her. So, you know, depending on where you want to use her, some other teams won't get her, so you'll need to, you know, mix and match a little bit with what you want to do. But that will be it for S-Hera. Overall, S-Hera is a support that will get your account to the next level and make things much easier for your damage dealers and you, of course. She's still one of the best, if not the best unit in the game, even in the CN version of the game, and I'd strongly advise you to go for her even if you just started playing. And if you can, get her Functor as well. Yep, that will be it. Thank you very much for watching. If this video helped you out, don't forget to leave a like and comment so we can get the YouTube algorithm going. Also, I stream on Twitch every day. You can find the link in the description where you can join and ask me questions live there, and I will help you out. And if it's not much trouble, subscribe too for future Aether Codes content. Thank you everyone, take care, peace.